is up, folks? I'm excited. I have a bad hair day. I took a bath last night, and when my hair's wet when I go to bed, it just goes crazy. But I am excited to be here with you and talking about Remix. I think this is just the future of building React applications. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be awesome. So earlier I did a short live stream. I had a little call with a conference that I'm working with soon, and so I had to drop off, but now I am back. I'm also going to be disabling comments on YouTube because there are racists and terrible people on YouTube who like to ruin everything for everyone. So I'm going to disable chat. Hold on a second. Where did that option go? I need to disable chat because, yeah, there are terrible people here. Enable. I have it disabled. It says enable live chat. That is unchecked. So I'll enable it and then I'll disable it, I guess. If you want to chat, you're more than welcome to do so by joining the Discord. So come to kcd.im/discord and you will be able to join in the chat as soon as I figure out how to turn off the chat. What the heck? Come on, edit. Here we go. Live chat. Disable that. There you go. Okay. So I'm sorry that yeah, YouTube just makes it awful, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm excited to chat with you, even though I just disabled the chat in Discord, about Remix. I've been playing around with it a little bit for the last couple weeks, and it is mind-blowing. It is awesome. It's also very developer supporter preview software, so it's like very beta right now. So in my last stream, people were like, wow, this doesn't look very user-friendly. Well, yeah, that's because it's beta. Developer friendliness comes later. So we're going to be fumbling around a little bit, but it's awesome, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So let me share my screen with you, and then we can get to working on stuff. So this is Remix. It's awesome. Remix Run. You can go buy a license right now, the indie license in beta supporter preview. And it is legit cool stuff. When you get that, then you get access to the documentation, and so that's cool. I already got the project set up. I did not go through the quick start tutorial with their starter kits. I'm trying to build something from scratch right from the get-go. Yeah, so this is what I've got so far right here. Bum-ba-dum. And yeah, this is awesome. Hooray. So it looks like right now I'm getting an error about loader file undefined. I'm not sure what that's all about. I have a feeling that if I add a routes index.js, whoop, I will not have this problem. Module exports equals index loader and return data or stuff. Yay. All right, there we go. So now if we try this again, rats. I'm not sure what that is. But again, this is all beta software. I'm not too worried about errors. In fact, that was one of the things that they mentioned on, like, when you're buying the license. You go to buy a license and it says in bright red, please do not purchase a license if you're not comfortable with bugs and missing features. So I am comfortable with bugs and missing features. I just want to play. So that's what we're doing. We're not going to worry about that. We'll just let that be. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to try and build is a little mini blog. It's just like, because I'm planning on switching kentcdodds.com/blog, or the whole kentcdodds.com. I'm going to make this a Remix site. Right now it is a Gatsby site, but I've got some serious problems with Gatsby sites, and I wasn't planning on talking about that, but I'm going to right now. So here's one thing that really bothers me about just server-side generation in general. This is like, you just cannot, it can't do this. So it's fine if your site is 100% just content. But as soon as you try to go and asynchronously load anything or like dynamicize anything, all of a sudden things don't work out super well, and you just have loading spinners all over the place. So for example, if I go to any of these workshops, you'll see that little thing that pops up right there. It says loading workshop details. That's because if I have any tickets on Tito for this workshop, then I want to show those right here. And I mean, I could just say like not have that loading indicator there. But then people with like if once it comes in, then we bump everything around. That doesn't look good. I could also just have like a skeleton here. I guess that would work sort of, and have it loading. But like the page is loaded, I just want to see my stuff. And so that maybe that's a small thing, but take a look at this. TestingJavaScript.com is also built with Gatsby. Watch what happens here. Did you see that? Like, so here's what the the page looks like. This is your your standard sales pitch everything page, and that's what we load. But once we realize that you're logged in, then we show you your pro info. Okay, so we can't do that until we've verified that you're logged in, and so we're showing you the server-side generated stuff. And so the alternative to this is don't server-side generate anything and do it all client-side. But like, okay, so what? No, that's not a good thing. Epic React is also built with Gatsby, and we redirect to the /learn page, but it's basically still the same experience. Loading that server-side generated stuff, and then switching over when we find out that you're logged in. So unless your site is 100% content, nothing is dynamically loaded, then I think Gatsby and server-side generation is a bad idea. And that is really sad. So anyway, that is why one of the reasons. Well, I mean, there's Next.js, and that's awesome, but there are some other things that I about Remix that make it unique that I really like. Which is why I'm really excited about Remix and not going into to Next. But I'm not going to talk about that now. I just want to get back into things. I wasn't planning on going off on Gatsby or whatever. Okay. Anyway. So I'll just take you on a tour in case you don't want to actually watch the last video, which is fine. So here in my npm-rc, I specify that Remix run packages will come from this registry. Everything else comes from the regular registry. And then when we're hitting that registry, I'm going to also provide an auth token for that, and that is in my global environment, whatever. So Remix package registry token. So that way I can commit this to the source control without revealing my token, which is something I don't want to do. And I also may end up opening this file on accident, and I don't want to have problems with that too. So then in my dependencies, the only Remix things you've got are these 4 packages right here. I'm using Express. They also have a Firebase. They'll have a Netlify. They'll have a Azure, whatever, for whatever you're going to deploy to. I'm just using Express because that's easy to do things locally. And you can actually just deploy Express to these various other platforms as well. So, yeah, and then I've got React DOM. I should bring in React 17. I wonder why. I just copy pasted this from their starter. Yeah, then we've got some nice dev dependencies and stuff. Our build script just runs the build. I'm not using TypeScript here. I know that I probably should, but I want to learn one thing at a time, and I don't want to learn TypeScript at the same time I'm doing this. So, yeah, we'll just get rid of this. Actually, we can keep that. See, I think VS Code will do something fancy with that. But let's get this updated. I'm just going to get these. What? No. That's not how this works. No, it is 17.0.1 at least, I think. We'll just type that in myself, 0.1. We're going to reboot all of this stuff. Here, let's just do this. This is using npm check update. This is just an alias that I've got. Oh, did I not save this? Oh, I must have. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so npm... Here, let's just flush everything. This is another alias I've got. That'll just remove the package lock and node modules and rerun install. So, cool. I'll just continue taking you on the tour. So I've got the Remix config here, my app directory. So you can configure that. This is where my, the React app is going to be. Loaders directory is in this loaders directory. This server will be built to a build folder, which will need to get deployed. The browser build directory is going to go into public. That will also need to get deployed. So the server build directory basically needs to be built. Here, let's just run the build. npm run build, so you can see what that's doing. Building for production. So here's build. And here we have our routes. And this is all, that's technically React code, but I'm just doing hello world right there. And here's our assets. So that's kind of fun. And then our entry for our server. So this is what's going to run on the server. So like when I deploy it to the server, see, getting React DOM server. And then our server manifest, which is different from our asset manifest somehow. I'm not sure exactly how all that works, but I don't have to be, so that's nice. But then we also have the public build directory, and this is all of the client-side stuff. So here's my entry browser, and then here's routes, and here's the browser version of that file. That's interesting that it has the export default. I'm gonna guess that's a bug because this should be all built. Wow, fancy. Yeah, that's kind of fun stuff. So we've got all of our shared modules right there. That's kind of interesting. So anyway, we don't have to worry about this though. So that's nice. Let's see, what else is in here? Yeah, so the public path is /build, and that makes sense for if we deploy the public directory, then everything is going to be accessible on the CDN at /build. Because that's where we said this was. So if we wanted to change these, we'd say like really great static assets. So I'm pretty sure those two need to be the same. I might be wrong there, but that's my guess. Dev server port doesn't really matter, but I set it to 8002. So yeah, what up? Just chatting away with some cool cats here on Discord. If you're not on Discord, jump on because it's a good place. Okay, let's see what else we got. So we've got some conventions here. The app directory, which is what I configured. We've got our entry browser. So this is what's going to run in the browser. And then entry server. This is what runs on the server. And you just export a function. I like to put my exports separate from the definition. So handle, I copy pasted this. Handle request. So this is going to take the request response status code, which is just useful for the response that we're going to send. So that way, like if Remix wasn't able to find the file, then that status code would be a 404, and we forward that along. That's not something you get from client-side frameworks. So that's cool. So Ben just asked in the Discord, what are my thoughts on the price tag? How much do you spend per engineer for a laptop? Couple grand, right? It's like maybe $2,000. It kind of depends, right? If you're getting them the MacBook, then yeah, you're gonna spend a little bit on that. I would say that we don't like developers are cheap because we think that we can build everything. But the funny thing about that is that we don't seem to value our time, and so we're like, oh, like $1,000 per developer on this team. Man, I'll just build it myself and then I won't have to spend $1,000. And then pretty soon you find that you spent 100 hours, which costs way more than $1,000. So yeah, I don't understand that. I feel like this is totally priced fairly. I'm not worried about it. Okay, cool. So response headers, yeah, this is actually a response headers object. So if you go to MDN, response headers, check this out, mdm.io, we'll go to DuckDuckGo, find the first result, and forwarded you onto that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, take a look at mdm.io. But yeah, so headers, the headers object, that's what this is. It's a headers object. And then we've got Remix context, because Remix needs to grab its stuff from somewhere. So, and then yeah, you render the Remix component and pass along the URL, and there's your app. And the cool thing is this app is the exact same thing in the browser as well as on the server. And what's also very cool is that this app renders everything. This is the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle, starting from the index.html or the HTML node. And I love that. I think that's awesome. You can use like regular hooks in here. It's just like a regular component. And it's also awesome because you can add your own meta tags. And of course, like Remix has some stuff for meta tags per page and stuff. That's what this meta is for. It also has some cool stuff for styles per page. And then this is like your outlet into the routes that you have defined in here or in your config. And then all the scripts. And if you're like Node.js, then don't render the scripts. What? And that works, and it's awesome. I mean, you won't be able to do dynamic stuff on the page, but like if you're using regular forms and stuff, yeah, that works. That's awesome. Arpon just mentioned that Tailwind is already bootstrapped with Remix. I was unaware of this, if that is the case, but that's cool. So Remix, as far as like what it's trying to solve, it's trying to make it easy for you to build React applications that scale really well. One of the problems, okay, so I wasn't going to get into this, but I will. So there is a, where are we going? Console. Build manifest on every next site. This just gets bigger with every page that you add to your code base. Just gets bigger and bigger. And it's just the way that that Next works and what it has to do. So this isn't the only issue, but the nice thing about Remix is that it can scale really well without worrying about how many files. You can just like go forever, make an app that is infinitely big, and Remix can handle that. That's awesome. I like that. I'm not going to continue on that. I just want to get into this stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's. I just want to actually get into the building of stuff. I don't want to talk about comparing things. So. Yeah, so we've got our browser that's hydrating. We've got our server that's rendering to string. The cool thing here too is if I decide I want to render it do a stream instead, I have control over that because I am the one calling render to string. I'm the one calling react-dom.server. Like I'm doing that stuff. If I decide, hey, I want to have one page that doesn't even call into React, I can handle that right here, and I think that's awesome. I really like that I have that sort of control. Yep. Okay. And then we've got our global CSS, which is just all of our global CSS stuff. Okay. So what I want to do next is let's make a route. So right now we've got our index.js route right here. That's just rendering hello world. And then we've got the app.js is rendering this in the footer. So that's coming after the routes and even after the scripts. So if you pop up this, then here's our script tag for the entry browser, and then there's the footer. So I'm going to add another route. We're going to say if I'm making a blog, I'm going to want to have a blog route, and then I'll have blog entries nested in there. So we're going to make a blog.js, and here we'll import React. I should make a snippet for that, like IR. That's interesting. Here, snippets. Oh, whoops. Snippets for JavaScript. Come down here. Around my React stuff. I might already have it. Import. I've got that. I have an imp thing. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I haven't used that in a long time. So let's just add import star as React from React. Import React is what it's called. Just do this really quick. Prefix. IR. There we go. Body. There we go. And new line. Yep. That's what it's going to be. So IR. Boom. There you go. Nice. I love that. Okay, so then actually, while I'm at it, I never want to do this without copying and pasting to all of these other ones. Because I literally don't want, like, I don't understand why you would want to have a different set of snippets for any of these, but I'm sure that there are people who do. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So now we've got React. We're making a function component called blog. And we're going to return a div with H1 Kent's blog with a capital L. And yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. We'll export default blog, save that, come over here. And oh, that's not running. We got to get it running again. I probably want to have the terminal open actually, because it will sometimes, what was that? TSC. Oh, that's right. I need to go to TSC. Let's get rid of this thing. Try that again. You can use a single file. I don't know what that means, Alex. Not sure what you're referencing there. Oh, you can use a single file. You're talking about my snippets? Where? How? New global snippets file. How do I do that? I have 3 different files for JavaScript related stuff. I've got JavaScript, JavaScript React, TypeScript, and TypeScript React. So if you can tell me how to avoid what I was doing, then that would be great. I'd love that, because I hate updating all of those. Anyway, we're going to move on. It doesn't matter. We're going to refresh. We go to /blog, and boom, Kent's blog. Okay, so here's something cool, just for the fun of it. Blog.css, we're going to say body color blue. And now on this page, it's blue. Over here, it's still red. What? What is that? And look how fast, oh man, that's great. It's all memory cache. It's awesome. Man, I love this thing. Okay, so that's cool. That's exciting. So we've got our blog, and now we're going to make a blog slash, remixrocks.mdx. Okay, so now we've got an MDX file, and it's saying MDX is imported, but could not be resolved, treating it as an external, and it's going to blow up because of that, because remix rocks. Because it's like, whoa, I cannot find that module. Remix, or the module is the MDX React. So I need to add that as an external dependency. Let's see what else they've got about MDX. So they're probably going to tell me to install that. Here we go. Nope, they forgot to mention that you need that. So we're going to npm install MDX React. Okay, and let's start that again. Hey, that's interesting. It still says, oh, right, I think because this is nested routing, I'm going to come over here. We need to do an outlet. So let's figure out nested routes and params outlet. So we want React Router DOM. And we'll get rid of that link for now. Outlet. And we'll do an HR right here. Okay, cool. Boom. There we go. And then that's my footer from the app. So let's do, just copy this. So we'll do some meta stuff. So this is the title. Here's my description. These are meta tags. These aren't like some fancy, oh, I got to go look at the Gatsby docs to figure out how the heck to get my meta tags lined up. And oh, they don't. Like, so I've got to do some Gatsby node thing to do some weird stuff. No. I have control over the meta tags. I can do like my OG image and all of that stuff right there. So that's awesome. I have control over the cache headers, which is also awesome. We'll just leave those there. Remix rocks. And we'll say that's right, it does. And boom, ba-da-doom. So we're on Remix Rocks. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. So yeah, Jens, you just asked about the metadata. I think I answered that. It is fantastic. It's great. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. So I'm done. I just need to make it look nice, and then I can write all my content. So there you go. You've built your blog. Hooray! Yeah, I don't think I mean, snippets can have scopes with all languages. That's nice. I'll figure that out later. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, so what am I going to do now? What should I do? I mean, I could add plugins and stuff, I guess. There's one thing that I really, really want from Gatsby, and that is Gatsby, wait, what is it? Remark Embedder. This plugin, and Michal is the builder of this thing. I created it in my own project, and then Michal grabbed it and open sourced it. I think I requested it. If I didn't request him to do it, he definitely asked me. But in any case, it's here, and he's made it better than I did, and it's awesome now. And I really want to have this for my blog. Or I have it for my Gatsby blog, but I really want it for my Remix blog. And it's not currently, that's not currently possible. So, oh, there you are. Michal, you're awesome. Yeah, okay. Too much coughing. Yes, I am not feeling well. That is correct. For the last 2 weeks, I have had cough, and now it's like mostly gone, except now I just have like just a tickle in my throat for the last like day or two. It's not been fun. And a little congested. So apologize for that. Okay, well, let's see. Let's now that we've played around with it a little bit, yeah, what do I want to do next? Arpon just asked if I'm planning on porting from Gatsby to Remix. Yes, this is happening. So, yeah. I guess we could start loading actual data and stuff. Yeah, let me, I mean, I could load public data, but I want to see if I can load, like, I'm thinking about some of the data that I load on my, my own website. I have tickets and stuff, but none of those, we don't have any data coming back for those yet. So that's not going to do, because I don't have any workshops scheduled. I guess I could schedule a pretend workshop for Remix, because I am planning on doing a Remix workshop in the future. Let's see. I mean, I could just keep going. I don't want to do boring stuff like copy paste styles and stuff, but I don't know. Well, let me just think of how I would do some of this stuff. So, yeah. I'm actually kind of interested in how I would make this work, because so I've got a listing of all my blog posts, and on Gatsby I'm using GraphQL weirdness to make that work. For this, I wonder if there's, I mean, I could do Babel CodeGen or something, but like, I think what Ryan envisions about this is instead of hosting all of the content as MDX pages in your blog, you actually host it like directly on GitHub, and then your loaders would go and get that and then render that on the client as MDX. So here, let's try this. I have an idea. We're going to add a yeah, let's just add this, a gist JS file. Okay, and so the gist is going to be the param at this route. So let's see, and we'll add a blog gist for my data loader. And then we're just gonna need to request the gist. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make a view your gist, or no, create a new gist. Yeah, wouldn't you like to see that? Haha, when it has a lock on it. Now I can show you, doesn't matter. This is early access, people. This is actually when I started creating these KIFs, was I made this, and I just wanted to show them how excited I was. And so this was the first one I made, I think. Or no, it was this one, to tell them thank you because they're awesome. Anyway, fun stuff. That's over. We don't need that anymore. So this is going to be a test blog post for a remix blog. And we'll call this remixrocks.mdx. And we'll just put all of this stuff in there. This one came from a gist. And I don't want to create it secret. I don't care. Let's make it public. Why not? So there we go. Bum-ba-da-dum. And now I'm going to load in. Here, we're going to call this one Remix Rocks Local. Okay, so now how do I convert? Here, actually, I guess we can just do the gist ID. I don't really care. We don't need to do like a mapping or anything like that. So what I want to do is I want to say blog / and then some gist ID, and then I want to go get that gist and compile that that MDX. That would be cool. Let's try that. Yeah, King Daro, actually, so I'm still a little like, I've got a lot of blog posts. That would be a very big folder and stuff. But check this out. You can actually define routes using the file system, or there is a configuration for this. So you say, here's my routes. Here's a function called define routes, and then you go load all of your stuff. Yeah, some GitHub repo. And then you, for all of those files, make a page, a route. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Define it separate from those components. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, so let's make our loader, our gist loader, and module exports gist loader. Okay, so this is, the loader is where I get my data for the component that lives over here. So my first knee-jerk reaction of this is like, okay, so I'm getting my data for this, but but the data like requirements are in here. So like I need it in here, but I'm writing it in here. That's super annoying. And I was never a big fan of mapping files together. And I pushed back a little bit on Ryan with this. I was like, hey, like maybe don't do it this way. And could I just have it defined? I know like Next has their thing and they make automatic magical serverless functions for all those and stuff. It's pretty magical. And he was like, yeah, but what about module dependencies, like module level variables and stuff? Who owns that? Or like, it can just be difficult to know what's running on the client, what's running on the server. With this is like, these are your files. You just lay them out in the right way, and then Remix will pick them up, and it just runs them. It doesn't do anything special to them. And so there's a lot less ambiguity there. So I'm actually pretty okay with that. So Arpan just asked if I'm allowed to open source my Remix code. Yes, I am. You won't be able to run it because you don't have, unless you have a license, because you'll need to have your Remix package registry token. But I should probably just call this the Remix registry token. There, that makes more sense. So I'm going to go update that really quick in my thing here. There we go. Yeah, so you won't be able to install anything if you don't have a license, if you don't have that Remix registry token, but you can look at the code, which I think is kind of neat. Why not using a separate repo with all the files instead of needing to create a gist every time? I was just using gist as an example. I think you're right. Let's just well, I'll switch it over later. And I'm not sure if this is the way I want to do it. I just wanted to try and actually load data. I think in the long term I'll probably, I don't know what I want to do. But right now I just want to play around with loading data. So this is how we're going to do this. So I need to figure out how to use the gist API, because I know Ryan knows it like the back of his hand, because he makes so many demos with gist, but I don't. So GitHub gist API. If it's so out of date, then why is that the page that I always go to when I Google for this? Okay, so we're going to make a get /gis with the ID. We need the ID. Gis/ID. Gis/ID. Gist ID. No? What? I don't want to fork a gist. Okay, come on. Get a gist. That's what I want. There it is. They have a failed convention there. Okay. Anyway, it looks like I could use OctoKit core to go get the gist. Yeah, we could do that. But we're not going to. Let's just use fetch for this. And because this is running on in Node, I want to make sure that I have fetch accessible. So in my server, I'm going to grab as a regular dependency node fetch. I think that should automatically polyfill, but let's just double check. Node fetch. Okay, it's starting to get hot. So I'm just going to take off my front-end master's jacket. And oh my gosh, Epic React. Okay, so global, no. Require, yeah, okay, I think we need to do global.fetch equals require node fetch. Okay, cool. So now, oh, I need to, since I changed that, variable name, okay, exit, and exit, there we go. Uh-oh. Cannot find module node fetch. Oh, right, because I did not actually install it yet. There we go. All right, now let's try. Okay, so we're going to just fetch at this URL. Just return fetch. And what is my base URL for all of these requests? I don't know. It'd be nice if they told me. Here we go, right there. And then my gist ID, this is going to come from params, which I think is just an argument. Let's take a look. If I were using TypeScript, I would just be able to just command space and I'd know all of that stuff. Nope. So that's too bad. I should learn TypeScript one of these days. Okay, so we're going to do loader. This is just the API stuff. Here we go. Params, URL, context, all that stuff. And so here we're going to say params or $params.gist. There we go. And now I come over here and I make a function post. This is we're gonna need something from remix run React. This is gonna be use route data equals use route data, and we'll return a pre that has JSON stringify data. Boom. And then export default gist post. All right, so let's try this again. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. That is great. Okay, so then we're gonna need to get the files. We'll get I guess we'll just get the first MDX file. And then we want the content of that first thing. Okay, so let's come to our loader, do that in the loader. I mean, we do as much as we can on the server, right? And then that can get cached and beautiful stuff. We don't make the client do a ton of work. So let's make this async so we can get response await fetch, and then our data is response JSON. We're going to await response JSON, and then we want the content from the first file. Yeah, let's just files. Yeah, we just want the first file. Yeah, so data files, object keys, data files, at 0. Post data, we'll call that data. And then, yeah, then just content from post data. And in fact, let's just do that, content. Okay, cool. And then we can return a new response. And the body is content. I don't know how to do this. Let's go look at this. New response, body, we need to stringify it, and then all of this stuff. And then we can configure caching and all sorts of cool things. So const body equals JSON string, or actually, you know what? It's not JSON at this point. Now it's just a string. So it's a string of MDX stuff. Now, if I want this, I don't know how to, yeah, render MDX to string, render MDX to string. We'll want to do this on the server. Ben asked how I see React Query working with Remix. So on the client, you got your data, and then here you're going to say use query, and then it's initial data, I think is what it's called, data. And now you can have your query function that just calls whatever endpoint that you're trying to call, but Remix can get you some initial data. So it just loads instantly, and then React Query can keep it updated for you with its cache and stuff. That's how that works. That's great. Okay, so here's server-side rendering MDX. Because I think that's what I want to send is, oh, I don't know. No, I wouldn't want to send back HTML. This is just going to be the content. Yeah, because this is going to get server rendered for me automatically. I don't need to worry about that. Let's just send back the content as it is. So this is going to be text plain. Yep. And then we can actually grab some of the headers from the response here. So cache control will come from response headers get cache control. And we could do a bunch of others, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's refresh this now. And there it is, bum-ba-da-dum, and we can look at the request for that data, wherever it is. Here, let's go. Hold on a second. Oh, actually, that's going to be server rendered. So we come over here. We need a link to it. So let's go blog, and then we'll have a, let's grab a link. Because if you just load the page and then it's going to be server rendered, it's only going to go and request it if it's happening on the client. So anyway, link to slash, and actually relative routes for the win, test post. Boom, there it is. And so here's us getting the data right there, and our cache control right there, boom, that came straight from GitHub. That's awesome. Oh, object of values data files. Thank you. Good idea. Let's do that. Object values data files at 0. That's much better. Thank you for that. Good call, Igor. Okay, so great. So now we just need to do something about yeah, getting the metadata. We'll want to have that. Yeah, actually, this is going to be interesting. I'm glad that we're doing it this way. This will be kind of fun. So here we'll make a function headers. I think, shoot, I can't remember what it's called. So let's find out. Let's see. We got our routes, meta tags. That's what we want. And then headers as well. We don't need to worry about that because we're handling. Oh, wait, no, we do. We do want to worry about that. And I feel like headers gets called with something. So we want headers and meta. Except I like to define all of my exports in one place, so I'm not searching around the file for it. Okay, so let's console log arguments. And we'll do the same thing here. Here, actually, this is going to be headers. Yet another reason why it's nice to do function declarations. I can use arguments. Try to do that with your arrow functions. Okay, so let's come over here. And there's no HMR right now. That'll come eventually, so I do have to manually refresh every time. So you have headers, but we didn't get meta. That's interesting. Maybe it's metadata, and this is out of date or something. Oh, that's strange. I would have expected this to have been called. Huh. That sounds like a bug. Oh well. Hold on a second. No, that's something else. We've had that bug for a while. Oh, look. Ah, nice. We get the logs in the terminal as well as in the browser, which is cool. So we have data. So we get one argument. It's an object here, and that's going to have data. And you even have the parents data, which is kind of interesting. You have params and location. So for my situation, I want data. Let's see. Yeah, I want the data so that I can get the headers out of the MDX. I think what I want to do is on the server side, I want to parse out the front matter, and I'll send that as an object that has the front matter values and the content for the blog post. Console log meta in meta. Did I miss something? Oh, yeah, you're right. Haha. Thank you, Aprillian. I'm not sure if that's how you say your name, but that's what it looks like to me. Let's try this again. Meta. Oh, interesting. So it's the headers that's not getting called. Huh, fascinating. Maybe I misspelled that or something. Headers. No, I copy pasted that. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not getting called. I would expect it to get called. Sounds like a bug. Anyway, well, I'm glad that you noticed that mistake, because I would have gone down the wrong path. Okay, so what we're going to do instead then is, let's see, we want to parse out the front matter to get this, and then I can specify the title and description for the meta tags from the front matter for the gist that I'm loading. Now, keep in mind that if you just want to do a regular MDX blog and whatever, then it's super easy. We already did it. You just make it right here, and like meta and headers, that all just works. It just does, and it's awesome. That's amazing. That's built in. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if I can get this loading in from a remote source, and then have that compile into a page so it can be dynamic and stuff. It's very cool. Okay, so let's get this thing parsed. Probably gonna need to use MDX myself. Let's see. Yeah, one of these days we'll have getting started with remix, and that'll be awesome. Render MDX to the terminal. What is that? Oh, from Ink. That's cool. Man, that's amazing. React is so awesome. I just don't even, it's so crazy. Look at that. Freaking A. Man, the cool things people build. Okay, so we can do an async API. Why not? So we're gonna require MDX. Let's just grab that npm I mdx.js mdx. And we've got some content. We got this function. We're going to await MDX on the content. That's going to give us the JSX. But that's not what I want necessarily. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I need the front matter. Yeah, this is what I want to do. My goodness. It's a lot of work, though. I feel like that should be easier. Okay. Anyway. So we're going to make a v file out of the contents, or the content. V file content. That's going to be my file. And I'll take care of this. And, my goodness. I'm guessing all this stuff is installed as part of all MDX, but we're going to get this installed explicitly. So let's do that. npm install this. And I feel like there's probably another package I could install that just does all this for me. So, yeah, sorry. So if you were coming here to learn about Remix, we're done. We learned about Remix. Now we're moving on to other stuff. Yeah, you can access the Remix code itself. So if I go to Node Modules, Remix run, and I can go see, okay, how does their Express stuff work? And there it is. I've got all of their code. Oh my gosh, I better not show this on a live stream. No, just kidding. Like, what are you going to do with this stuff? So yeah, you can. You have access to all of it, which makes it really easy or really nice. They're not going, I asked them, and they're not going to uglify this or anything, but it just makes it really easy to learn as you're going through and debugging stuff, especially when you're working with beta stuff. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is how we extract the front matter. It's with a Remark plugin. That's interesting. And then here's our process thing. Can we do an async await MDX compiler? MDX compiler comes from create compiler from MDX. Create compiler. I just want to see if there's a non-callback way to do this, if this like returns a promise or something. MDX create compiler. That is not going to be what I want. But maybe somebody will show me an example. No. Promisify. Yes, I could promisify it. That is true. Let's just look at the source and see, what do they do with this? Create compiler. Compiler with plugins. Create MDX AST compiler. Okay, so this is a unified, unified process, markdown process. Here we go. Aha, yes, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Okay, so we can await this. And then I don't have to do this nonsense. Okay, great. So let's bring this on down. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, and actually that's kind of what the context is for for doing this stuff. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do that later. Okay, so we've got our MDX compiler. We await processing this file, and then we get the front matter from that. And here we'll do body is JSON stringify. Wow, what else is in that file data? I wonder. Here, let's just leave this as it is. We'll we got a console log. Let's do this. We're pretty much done with Remix, by the way. Like we've done everything. Okay, not really everything. There's still more that we could do, but yeah, like Remix is pretty light, and that's what I like about it. It's really powerful, but pretty light. Okay, so we've got our data. Oh, this is from Meta. Here we go. That's headers. Oh, loader headers. Oh, nice. That's what I want. Here, while I'm at it, we want our loader headers. We're just going to have the same return the loader headers. Boom. I'm pretty sure that's what we want. Just whatever the loader said, let's just apply that here as well. Okay. Anyway, we've got to have this log somewhere. Where's this other log? Oh, undefined right there. Boom. So let's come over here. Oh, yeah. I did not assign that properly. Result, I guess. I'm not sure what to call this yet. Okay. So we get a V file back and data comes back. That's interesting. I think I need to have a maybe, oh, I don't know. Huh, that's weird. Let's go to this gist. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and that, and that, and that. This looks right. It's all fine. Huh, that's weird. You notice that when I'm not sure what to do next, I do menial worthless tasks like closing tabs and stuff, because I'm like, I don't know what to do, so let me just do mindless things while I process this, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, for some reason my YAML stuff at the top is not working, so we're trying to find YAML detect front matter. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't get any log for that. So it's not finding it in our tree. Well, let's just log out the tree. It's not, hopefully it shouldn't be too big. So we've got the root, a thematic break. Here, I think this should work. Consulter colors, or is it color or color? Yeah, colors, color, I don't know. True, and depth 6. Try that again. Nope, the color thing didn't work. Maybe I'll try colors true next time. So it's considering this stuff to be text. That's weird. Let's go to astexplorer.net. Again, sorry, this is not Remix. I'm doing Markdown stuff now. Okay, MDX, here we go. Do you need to call extract formatter? No, so this is just saying, hey, I want to create a compiler. Here are the plugins that it's going to use. And when you process a file, I want you to pass that file through these plugins. So this is all structured properly, and it is parsing properly. The reason that it's not working is because when we try to visit YAML nodes in this tree, there are no YAML nodes because this node, which should be a YAML node, is a paragraph node. So that's what's going on there. But if we look, yeah, right here, I wonder if there's like a options. Nope. Weird. That's so strange. What's that all about? Well, bummer to that. Let's see. Wonder if there's. Yeah, this is all gonna be. I just want to figure out how they're doing their MDX stuff and see if I'm missing something. My gosh, all this stuff. People think that they can write this for cheaper than $1,000 a year. That's just crazy. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know why this isn't working, which is a bummer. Hold on a second. Sorry, one second. I should probably do remix specific stuff rather than trying to figure out ASTs for MDX. There are yeah. So that's what I was saying is like remix and MDX is easy. That's easy. We've already done it like forever ago. That's not the problem. What I wanted to try was to see if I could have my my blog posts in a separate repo or in GIS for now, but like in a separate repo. And then I just update that anytime I want to make a content change, and then I don't have to redeploy my site. That was the idea. That's what I want to do in the foreseeable future. So to make that work, I can't just put a bunch of files in here. I need those files to be on that other repo, and then I'll have a just the file name probably. And then when I come in here, we'll get that in the params, and we'll say, okay, go with the GitHub API, go get that file, and then parse it and send that information back and have it be rendered in the React app. So that's kind of the hope and dream there. The part that I'm stuck on is with MDX, not with Remix. It is I need to figure out the front matter for the blog post. And for some reason, it's just not parsing out that YAML properly. So, I don't know. MDX parse YAML. Okay, so what we're going to do actually is data, this it should be YAML. This is Markdown. Hooray. Okay, so if I switch to Markdown, then what? You gotta be joking me. What? There we go. Okay, good. So if I'm in Markdown, then this is a thematic break, which is, I think, just an HR. Why is this not being interpreted as YAML? I have remark, common mark, pedantic. I don't know. That's not going to do it. YAML. Reset that, I guess. Huh, this is so strange. Let's just save this and let's ask the worldwide Twitter why this is not being parsed as YAML. Anyone know about Markdown parsers and stuff want to explain to me why this isn't getting parsed as a YAML. Because I don't. This is very strange. I've definitely done this before. Okay. And yeah, in an hour I've got an interview, so I've got some more time to figure out what's going on here. But this is super weird. Yeah, MDX with Remix, really easy. Just want to make that clear. Really easy to do MDX with Remix. You go build your blog. You can do it today. Couldn't be easier. Here, let me explain it really quick. You get your server set up. You get your like, so outside of like regular Remix stuff, you don't even need to have loaders because it's all static anyway. It's just static content. You configure Remix, of course, copy paste that thing. And then you'll have your app, which is going to render HTML and stuff, whatever. And then you have the browser, which renders that in the browser, and then your server, which renders that on the server, sends that request. And then, wow, that was bright. Why was that so bright? My gosh. Here we go. And then you'll have a route, you'll have blog, and then you'll have your blog posts, and that's it. You're done. Nothing more needs to be done. It couldn't be easier. What I want to do is host these MDX files somewhere else and load those in dynamically. So that's what I'm trying to do, and that's where I'm kind of stuck. Where am I? Loaders. I'm just not sure why this is not parsing properly. So let's go back to Twitter, see if anybody's responded yet to my plea for help. Here we go. Thank you, Ingvar. You're awesome. Extension supported by some blogging platforms. They're not part of Markdown. Any idea how to get that enabled for Remark? I need to go to MDX. Here we go. I'm trying to get this to work. Okay, and maybe there's just something weird. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna come over here. Let's do temp ignored JS. I've got this in a global get ignore. Anything with a dot ignored. So that shouldn't get in my, oh, it's not even a Git directory yet. Ha! Okay, so we're gonna go node. Oh, I gotta save this. Save temp ignored. Undefined. Yep, that doesn't work. This page does not work. No! Hey, MDX and friends. I copy pasted this and the markdown or the YAML or front matter is not parsed as YAML. Any ideas? Thanks. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, okay. Getting a lot of that. Okay, great. Thanks, friends. So that's unfortunate that this doesn't work as documented. That's why this isn't working. Why is this not getting parsed properly? We have remark front matter, detect front matter. Let's just go see. Maybe there's a breaking change in this or something. We need to do something differently or whatever. Important. New parser and remark. Okay, remark 13. What version am I using? Oh, package, remark. I don't know which version of remark 12. There, npm ls remark. Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought that would have come in through MDX. Let's just try using version 2 and see if that makes a difference. Bum-ba-da-dum. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. Turns out that MDX.js only works with remark front matter version 2. Tried it out after reading this. Okay, cool. In the example, they're using ++ instead of --. What? Really? I didn't notice that. No, they're using dashes. I'm not sure which example you're talking about. +++? No. Oh, there. This example. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't need to worry. It looks like we found a solution. Just need to use version 2. Okay, cool. So let's start this again. This is going to work now. Woohoo! Let's delete that. Don't need that anymore. And come over here. Refresh. And now, when I console log that thing, I've got some data. What? Sick. Okay, so let's get rid of this thing and come back over here. So we're going to get, this is my V file, we're going to get data and contents. And this will be MDX contents. But this is, I think I don't want the MDX contents. I just want the front matter. That's all that I want. I don't care about the rest of the blog post. So this could be an area for optimization possibly in the future, but yeah, we don't need to worry about that right now. So data, or yeah, we'll call this, actually we just want the front matter. Now I know some of you are throwing up in your mouths right now because I just did this nested destructuring, but tell me that's not obvious what's going on. I don't know. It seems obvious to me. Here, we're going to get something. We're going to assign it to a variable. Oh, we're going to destructure that variable. We're going to destructure data. Oh, we're going to destructure this from data. I don't know. It makes sense to me. Anyway, so now we're going to do content and front matter. And actually, yeah, we can do something fancy in the future where if headers is specified, then we'll go with the headers from the front matter rather than the headers from our GitHub API request. So yeah, we could do something like that. I'm guessing that like in the real deal future, I'm not going to write my headers for cache control and stuff in here. I'll just rely on GitHub to manage that for me. So but it's cool that I can do that, and that's awesome. Okay, so anyway, we're coming back here. Now we've got our data right here, and we're going to say data front matter headers. Okay, let's try that now. Coming over here, and something broke. Let's figure out what's going on. Can I read property headers? Okay, I probably messed something up. Let's just look at this again. Oh, let's just return object here, refresh that. Okay, we've got our data. Hold on a second. This is wrong. I am not returning the body. Okay, body, and this is going to be application JSON. Okay, try that again. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. We got our front matter. So this should work now. Boom, 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 boom. And let's call this data. Boom. Okay, refresh. Check this out. Come on, come on. It should be working now. Something's not working. Oh wait, headers. No, I want meta. There we go. Try that again. Watch this. We'll know it's working when this changes. Yes! Title of the page. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. And here's the cool thing about that. Head, or here, title. Boom. That is rendered right here. That's not going to be like something that happens. It's server rendered during development. What? That's sick. So good stuff, good times. We got it working. So now all that I need to do is take this content and MDXify it. So let's see how we're going to do that. Now we yeah, let's just do MDX with React, I guess. Getting started. So we got our syntax, we got JSX, we got MDX, we have imports, documents, exports, defining variables, working with components, MDX provider, using the wrapper, default. Here we do it yourself. That's what I want. Eventually we'll get Remix on here, but for right now, all I want is the do it yourself. Render to static markup. That's coming from React DOM server. We're going to need to do this both on the client and the server. Yeah. Skip export. I see. Okay, so that's our JSX. New function, for crying out loud. All right, well, this is why we build abstractions, so we don't have to do crazy stuff like that. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, well, let's just do yeah, okay. Well, I want to see what they do for Create React App. We'll start with the easy stuff. Oh, because they've got the MDX macro. Well, so there's that. Okay. I blame myself for this. Okay. I just want to do it in such a way that like I want to try client side MDX first, and then we'll figure out how to make it work on the server. Again, if you're just tuning in, Remix and MDX, match made in heaven, they work great. I'm just doing something fancy. So you literally just put an MDX file and it works. I want to have an MDX file on a different repo and have it import and then transform it and stick it in. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I've gotten almost all the way there. I have my content right here. And I just need to take this content that I've got. Here, let's just do content. And we'll say, yeah, content. There it is. So I've got the content in there. I just need to parse this with MDX and render that. And I can do that client side and server side, because this will run client side and server. So I'll get SEO and all that niceties. And then, yeah. I don't know how they do it do it themselves, but I'm guessing I'm going to want to do it basically the same way they do. So let's try this. MDX in node modules remix run. Hey, there's actually not too many places where they do that. So this is where they're configuring MDX. They just grab my app config. Fascinating. Okay, so that's the config part. And then they've got type definitions here. Great. We've got our compiler, MDX. They've got a rollup thing. Let's see what their rollup thing does. Oh, that's great. I hate TypeScript definitions. They're the worst. So they are transforming it. This is all happening as part of... Yeah, see, that's so cool. It just makes so much sense. MDX transform. So this is like their custom MDX plugin, I think. Parse front matter. Oh, it's coming straight from front matter. Oh, that's cool. And then source. So I guess I'm basically going to want to do the same thing. And then we get our code, and that gets part of the bundle. But I don't have, I'm not part of the compiler step. I need to do this at a different stage. Boy, how do people do this in like the real world? I guess we have to, I mean, this is the real world. But yeah, outside of like a compiler and rollup, how do I dynamically go get some MDX and render it? They're doing that here for sure. They've got the playground. I can do this. You rock. I've actually done this before. It's interesting. At least I think I've done this before. JS Live, true. Yeah, see, React Live does this. Let's figure out what React Live is doing. I've used React Live before. Maybe it's in utils. Transpile. Eval code. Here we go. This is what we're talking about. Yeah, new function. Oh, gee. I guess that's just how you do things like this. So that's fun. That's interesting. Okay, well, then what we're going to need to do is, here, what do they, and they say res, poly, what is res? Oh, response from new function. So we call our function with whatever poly is and react, and then the rest of our scoped values. Here's our code, here's our transform, coming from Buble. Oh, right, that's right. Yeah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it this way. We've got to do it differently. But how? I don't know. I actually don't know how. Like, basically what I want is I want a I want to do all of this on the server. Yeah, it needs to be compiled. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do this. Hold on a second. I wonder if I can do this define routes thing. Loader page.js. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's an import syntax when and yeah, like so you can import stuff. But I don't want to have to do like special stuff for my test blog stuff or whatever for my blog here just to make it so that I can render stuff. Like I could do this if it was all server rendered and not interactive, then this would be easy. Where things get complicated, because I would just send back HTML and then I'd dangerously set it in inner HTML and it'd be fine. But making it so I can have interactivity in my blog posts, which I do use sometimes, that is what makes things hard because I need to generate code and then I need to evaluate that code. And so I guess, I could generate the code. Yeah, I could generate the code server side and then just evaluate it on the client. I could do it that way. Yeah, Jens, good question. I'll bring it over here so everybody can see it. So the question is, it seems unnecessary to server render, for example, blog posts every single request because it almost never changes. What do you think? This is where caching comes in handy. So you just set it so that it caches on your CDN. So it only hits your server once. And in fact, Ryan was showing me that with Fastify or Fastly, you can configure your cache headers so that Fastly will actually be the one to hit your server, and it never needs to go. It was kind of crazy, but like there's never a situation where a user hits Fastly and it doesn't have a cached version of what it's trying to request. So the only time that your server is hit is when Fastly is going to prime its cache or something like that. It's crazy. So yeah, it's like with cache headers and stuff, which Remix makes really, really easy, and it's like part of the core concept. You can end up with something that's just as fast and doesn't really impact the server a whole lot at all. Yeah, so Marco, custom components, that's a good point. Shoot, I hadn't thought about that. Dang it. Yeah, because like I'm going to be importing other components and stuff. That'll need to happen at build time, I guess, or at compile time. Ah, snap! I hadn't thought about that. I don't know if I'll be able to do this in a reasonable way. I mean, like if I'm just doing a regular blog with just static content, it's really easy. It's not a problem. I always do this. I always I just want to do my snowflake thing. I want to do my own little thing. I do this to myself all the time. Yeah, like if I just wanted to make something really easy and simple, it would be so easy. I finished in the first 10 minutes. I had this working. Not even 10 minutes. It was so fast. It was so easy. Yeah, trying to get it to load from another server or like asynchronously pull it in, that is not so easy. Now I wonder, with MDX, can't you like Increment is not defined, huh? Yeah, I thought there was a way export. Like I could just define all my things, but I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Even if that works, I don't want to do it that way. Boy, this sure stands out. It should go away. That is over. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. Yeah, I think caching scares a lot of people, which is why we've all gone with static site generators and stuff where you're just like, I don't have to worry about it. The CDN just does all of that. So caching is happening. So yeah, like you do have to configure things a little bit with your CDN and stuff, but at the end of the day, you end up with something that's a better experience for your users, like a lot better experience for the, like you just go with server-side generation and you have to say no a lot. You say, oh, like we need to do this. No, sorry, can't do that because we server-side generate this. And so like you can go full on client side, but then you've got all of those problems too. Like, hey, I don't want to have a loading spinner when I first land on the page. Oh, well, I mean, we can just show nothing for a couple seconds while we're evaluating JavaScript and stuff. If that's what you're good with, I guess. Okay. Well, I mean, I could try and compile it on the fly. Like one thing that we could do is when a request is made for a post that we don't have, we could clone the whole repo and then evaluate and compile the blog post and send the response. Yeah, that would work. And then like we'd cache it. Maybe we wouldn't clone it, but actually the way that I structure things now, this might work. So the way that I'm structuring things now is I have this content directory and then blog, and then let's see, what's one where I do this? I think I do it in here. Yeah. So I have this components thing. So I would just say, okay, go get me the React Hooks Pitfalls blog post, and just download the whole directory, and then compile this, and all of these imports and stuff are going to be relative. Even like the banner and everything, that's all going to be relative, and it's going to be within this directory. I never import something like back. So I could just go say, go get me this blog post folder, the whole folder, and then compile that. So yeah, I would think that would work. I would have to save it to disk for the imports to work, but then I could just I think that would work. I'd just use rollup to compile it. Rollup would give me back the code that I need. I send that to the front end. I dangerously evaluate it on the front end. I'm pretty sure this is possible. And like during server rendering, we'd basically do the same thing. Yeah, we would just do the same thing. Yeah, so it would be the same. It would work. So the server, the loader, is going to, and then all of this would be cached. So this would only happen once, once per blog post, forever, until I change it, until I like update the blog post, and then it would get re-downloaded, Yeah, it would be super fast. Yeah, and images. Yeah, images would be a little bit of a trick. I think it'd probably be better to, yeah, I don't know. For goodness sake, I should probably just not try to do this fancy thing at first and just put all of my blog posts in this blog directory. Yeah, that'd be a lot better. It would be way easier. I shouldn't try to do all this crazy stuff with beta software. I should just do the regular thing for beta software, and then we can do crazy stuff later. All right, that was fun. That was interesting. I learned a lot. Not really about Remix, but yeah, I learned some stuff. Here we got a bunch of replies on this. Let's take a look. Interesting. Okay. Cool, fun stuff. All right, so what's the next thing that I want to do? I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do next. Let me just move this over here. Let's see if we can we'll keep on going with this idea, except not doing dynamic stuff. We'll have it be just a regular blog stuff. So I'm going to actually git init this, git add. Oh, whoops. I need, here, let's try this again. I don't want node modules in there. Git, oh, whoops. Git ignore node modules and public build and build and cache. Yeah. There we go. Good. Init. Or, yeah. Checkpoint. Okay, so now we're going to get rid of a bunch of stuff. We're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to do this anymore. So that means we don't need to do, I don't care about that. We don't need this or that or that or that. And just get rid of all those. And update our package lock. And yeah, we'll get rid of that. And this is annoying, so we're going to get rid of that too. Yeah, sorry, just taking a look at some of these. Yeah, it would be really cool to figure this out. Okay, so the way that I see this working, and maybe I'll do this in the future. That would be cool. But yeah, and as Emmer is suggesting, I was fine with a full rebuild to my entire blog, which is true. That's how it works now. I hate it. I'll be okay with a quicker deployment without loading from URL. Yeah, that's true. Fair point. I don't mind. Let's just put it all in there. We'll do a redeploy. Redeploys will be much faster than building the whole thing with Gatsby ever was. That's for sure. Okay. So, eventually I think it'll work. I like the way that the images would work is basically, like, I can think of a couple of ways to do this. Like, one thing that you could do is, if you, like, when it loads, as part of the loader process, when we're compiling all this stuff, we take all the assets, we upload them to a CDN, and then we just reference those. And that could be happen at runtime. We have everything cached long term anyway, so just, you set your e tags correctly, and that'll work out fine. I don't know. Seems reasonable to me. So yeah, it's totally possible to make that happen. I just don't want to make that happen right now. We're going to do it the easy way first. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and try the next challenge, which I think will be challenging in its own. Just going to pull up my blog really quick. Let's see. Actually, let's do something really easy first. Office hours, yeah. Office hours index MD. Okay, we're gonna grab this, and there actually was another cancellation, but I guess the past doesn't matter anymore, so that's fine. So we'll come over here, and I'm going to add office hours.mdx. Paste that, and yeah, that should be it. Just make sure that works. In all of its red glory. Okay, so if we go to the actual office hours, what I want to do is get this header and footer built out, and then like have this rendered nicely. So first of all, this color red has got to go. So we're going to do that. Nice. It's no longer red. That's good. Okay, so then I don't put this header on every page. Like on some of these pages, I do like the full thing. I do like a special thing here. There's another full thing there. But then you've got the blog. You got, yeah, some of these are going to be a little different. So and the way that works right now is I have a layout component that I render for each one of these, but I'm trying to think of how nested routing would work, or like would change this, what I'm doing here. Chick-fil-A wants me to have lunch over there today. I just had it yesterday. Why are you asking me to have another one? I don't know. Now I'm looking at my phone and a bunch of stuff is popping up. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to convince my family to switch from GroupMe to Discord for everything. And so my mom just tried to text a PDF to all of us on GroupMe, and it wasn't working or something. And so I just had to say it would work on Discord. Okay, so yeah, what's the way that we want to do this? I think that I don't want every single page to have the footer. Like, does every page have the footer? Got, a bunch of these. I think they all have the footer. Not this one. Haha. Yeah, so I want to be able to say, hey, no footer or something. So nested routing may not be what I'm looking for here. So that like the app, I'm going to get rid of this footer. Keep that nice and lean for now. And then our index route, wonder if there's any way for the parent to get access to the child information so that the parent can know how to render render a child. So I could say like hmm. No, I think what would make the most sense is just for each each route within like this base directory to render a generic like layout component. So we're gonna have a shared or like a component, yeah, shared layout.js. And here we'll make our import React and make our function layout return div, and then we got our children, and this one will be maybe not our like all end all be all layout, but this is going to be our slim layout. Slim layout. Here we go. Export defaults, or here, let's do a named export. When I can, I like named exports. They're better. Children nav. Whoops. Nav. And here's can't see dods.com. That's not a nav item. That, well, I guess it could be just be a link. So import link from React router DOM. Oop. I hate that that does that. There we go. Yes, Tony, you found it. This is where we're chatting about playing with Remix. If you want to ask any questions or anything, then feel free to do so. I make no promises that my answers will be to your satisfaction. Okay, so here's our slim layout. Let's do our main right here. Put children in there. And then over here, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, our index. I know I've got something in my clipboard. Export. Shoot, no. What is it? MDX. Hold on a second. Let me find this. All right, here we go. So down here we can say import slim layout from shared slim layout, and then export default. Let's just do slim, or here's our props. I think we might be able to just say export default slim layout. See what happens. Hey, it worked. Marvelous. Am I using Babel JavaScript or JavaScript to React? I don't know. Language. I'm auto-detecting. Here, let me switch from streaming mode to regular. And that will bring back this bottom thing. Oh, this is JSON with comments. I'm in the wrong file. There we go. This is Babel JavaScript. That's what I'm using. And it auto detects. I don't know. Okay, let me go back to my streaming thing now that I've answered your question, Alex. Tony, you're wondering the model for Remix. I'm not sure what that means. Model could mean a lot of things in this context. You're going to need to be a little more specific. Okay, so, yeah, let's see. See, this is the part where I really fall over because I'm like, I can make this. I could absolutely make this, but it's going to take me some time because I am not very good at CSS and design and making things look nice, which is a real shame. But it is what it is. I don't want to live stream working on that though, because I feel insecure about myself. Maybe I probably will. But yeah, so then we've got our footer that has the join the newsletter. So here we'll have footer and, yeah, we'll have, join the newsletter, hooray. Okay, so we're just scaffolding this out. Nice. Alex, I don't know, like, what benefits it has compared to the built-in JavaScript language definition. I don't remember configuring that, so I can't say. And Tony, I'm not gonna spend any time explaining why Remix is awesome. If you're not into it yet, or you're not convinced, or whatever, you go do your own research. I'm not here to explain that right now. Okay, so let's see, what else do I want to do with this? You know, I think I'm actually about done streaming because I've got an appointment in like 10 minutes, and that I should probably get ready for. So anyway, this was fun. Honestly, most of this live stream was not about Remix, but was more about just some ideas that I was having about getting dynamically loaded blog content and stuff. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to it, I guess. It's just like put some MDX files in there for making a blog. Remix is just awesome. There's what makes it awesome is how little there is that is Remix specific. Like so much of what makes Remix great is that it's using the platform, really. Using 25-year-old caching headers and leveraging the just a few pretty simple conventions to make it easy to asynchronously load data and seamlessly do server rendering. Anyway, I'm excited for what is to come with Remix, and I'm gonna play with it a lot more. But I gotta go. So it was fun. Thanks everybody, and I hope you have a marvelous day. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you all in the future. Goodbye.